This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.
Coming up next, the Wolverines of Utah Valley are back home, 6-10 overall. They're entertaining the Rio Grande Valley Vaqueros, who come in here 4-12, but it's two of the top 5 scorers on the court tonight. It's going to be a heck of a game. It's all coming up next right here on UVU TV. Center here in Orem, Utah. We're about 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City, where tonight the Wolverines of Utah Valley entertain the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. They're the Vaqueros. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim. He's Matt, and it used to be Pan Am back when you played. They were the Broncos. Now they're the Vaqueros, which is a fancy South Texas name for Cowboys. Vaqueros. But either way, these teams are pretty familiar with each other. WAC matchup, WAC rivalry. Is that what you'd call it?
Absolutely. I think it's a key game for both teams.
Yeah.
You know, Wolverines coming off a tough loss a couple of nights ago, need to establish some momentum early on in the conference season. And the Vaqueros have a lot to prove. You know, they've started out on the road, coming in here to a tough place to play. They want to get off to a good start in conference as well. You know, team that loses here 0-2, so it's going to be a difficult start. The Wolverines have to play well tonight.
Yeah, for UVU, it's almost a must-win situation. It's just the second game of the WAC season. So let's talk about the keys to tonight for UVU. If they're going to win this game, what do they got to do, Matt?
Yeah, problem against New Mexico State on Thursday night is they really got out-rebounded both on the defensive glass and on the offensive glass. So the Wolverines tonight have to rebound, and where they don't have a dominant rebounder inside, it's got to be a total team effort. That's why it's emphasized 3 times there. They've got to limit the Vaqueros from the three-point line. They've got to get out and stop those long jump shots that are going to be attempted. And then we've talked about it since the beginning of the season. Pace and space is how the Wolverines want to play. So key and vital tonight for them to control the pace, play at their tempo and how they want to play on the home court.
And the tempo for UVU is just up and down, run and gun, it seems to be. All right, let's talk if they're going to continue that pace and space. Yep. Key players that are going to be up for UVU tonight to have to take care of that stuff.
Well, I think for the Wolverines it starts with Marcel. I have been so impressed with the last 2 games that he's played here. From the get-go, he has ignited the team. So we're going to be watching him for sure, averaging a little over 13 points per game, and he initiates the offense. The leading scorer for the Wolverines, Connor Fry, is going to have to be big. He leads them in scoring at 14.5 a game, and then rebounds as well at about 6.5 a game. So we've got these 2 guys that are going to carry the load for UVU.
Connor Fry currently 5th in the Western Athletic Conference in scoring at points per game with 14.6. Now, key players for UTRGV, and I'm just going to refer to them as Rio Grande tonight, because if I try to say UTRGV too fast, I'm going to have some sort of tongue hernia. So tell us who the key players are.
Yeah, we've got Shaquille Hines, a really good player, 6'8", a senior, averaging about 14.5 points per game. game and 6 rebounds. He's going to do it inside and outside. So the Wolverines are going to have to plan for him. And then Dakota Slaughter, averaging 11.5 a game, about 4 rebounds. Both of these guys are forwards, but they're not kind of the typical forward players. They're going to stretch the floor and do different things. So if the Wolverines can contain these 2 players, I think they've got a great shot to win the game tonight.
Shaquille Hines also tied for 5th in scoring in the Western Athletic Conference at 14.6. So he and Connor Fry be going head-to-head in a scoring battle tonight. All right, Rio Grande and Utah Valley, the 2 valleys of the WAC going head-to-head tonight. We're going to step aside, take a break. When we get back, your opening lineups and then your opening tip. It's all coming up next right here on UVU TV.
What, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
You're watching UVU TV.
CCU Center, Rio Grande Valley's players being introduced. They're going to start Everett Osborne, Dan Kamasa, Shaquille Hines, Dakota Slaughter, and Antonio Green. Osborne, a 6'4", 200-pound redshirt senior from Los Angeles, averaging 4 points a game. Dan Kamasa, 9th in the WAC in rebounding at 6 a game. Also chips in with 10 points a game. He's at forward, 6'10", from Rwanda. He's a sophomore. Shaquille Hines, we talked about him before the break, almost 15 points a game and 6 rebounds a game. 6'8" senior from Chicago, Illinois. Dakota Slaughter, graduate student, 6'7", starts at forward, 11.4 a game, and then Antonio Green's going to start at guard, 6'2", freshman from Tupelo, Mississippi. So they're starting 3 seniors, 1 sophomore, and 1 freshman. Meanwhile, UVU, they're about to announce their starting lineups, but it's going to be 2 seniors and 3 juniors. So pretty much experience even there, Matt.
I think so. I think that's, I don't think one team has the advantage over the other when it comes to experience, so it should be a pretty level game as far as that is concerned.
Utah Valley comes in here 6-10 overall, averaging 74 points a game, but they're giving up 78 points a game. Meanwhile, Rio Grande Valley comes in here averaging just 68 points a game, giving up 79. That's dead last in the WAC and defensive points allowed at 79 points. They just got beat by 20 by Grand Canyon 48 hours ago at Grand Canyon, which is one of the tougher venues to play in the Western Athletic Conference. So both of these teams, as we already talked about, really need a win tonight. When this is all over with, one of them's going to be 2-0, the other one's going to be 1-1, and quite frankly, it doesn't sound like much, but it really is. It's a huge difference as both these teams continue to plod through the Western Athletic Conference regular season.
And now, please welcome the starting lineup for our Utah Valley Wolverines. At guard, a 6'2" senior from American Fork, Utah, number 0, Marcel Davis. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Salt Lake City, Utah, number 2, Jaden Jackson. At forward, a 6'6" junior from Bountiful, Utah, number 11, Connor Fry. At guard, a 6'3" junior from Houston, Texas, number 13, Ivory Young. And at center, a 6'9" junior from Tustin, California, number 42, Andrew Bastion. The Wolverines are led by head coach Mark Pope. He's assisted by Cody Feger, Chris Burgess, Eric Daniels, and Director of Basketball Operations, Bobby Hordusky.
Marcel Davis leads the Utah Valley Wolverines at point guard, 11th in scoring at 13.3. But you mentioned earlier, Matt, just how impressed you've been. I think everybody in the WAC's been impressed with Marcel Davis's play. He's very quiet. He doesn't come out very demonstrative. He just does his job better than almost any point guard around.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to shape up, I think, in this game and throughout the WAC season as we get into conference play here, that he's going to have to do that. And it's going to become harder and harder because teams are going to focus their energy and focus their plan around him. But, I mean, he has been fantastic in my mind from what I've seen in those last 2 games. Let's see if he can continue that tonight. A big key for me as well is Connor Fry. He stayed out of foul trouble. He had 2 fouls early in the New Mexico State game, had to go to the bench. Let's see if we can stay on the court early tonight.
Rio Grande controls the opening tip. We're underway here at the UCCU Center. Western Athletic Conference battle. University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, previously University of Texas Pan American. That's their name of their institution this academic year. Basher with a rebound on the miss. Quickly the other way to Ivory Young. Now you got your first foul again. Hines, I believe, yeah.
Great pass ahead there from Marcel. I believe it was from Marcel, kind of the diagonal pass ahead, and a very nice job of Ivory getting wide out in the lane, making himself more available. The Vaqueros messed up in their transition defense, and Ivory made him pay.
You know, I've been accused of jinxing the Wolverines on their free throws. They came in Thursday night against the game against New Mexico State as the #1 free throw shooting team in the WAC. And Wolverines just laid an egg. They shot horribly from the free throw line that night. So heaven forbid that I would say anything tonight, but they're 2 for 2.
That's a good start. That was a big letdown in Thursday night's game. I'm sure they've refocused in these last couple days, last couple practices.
Figueroa's trying to work it inside to Hines. They do. He went up with a slam and missed it. Rio Grande controls.
Good contested help. Should get a basket there inside from Kamasa. Vaqueros looking early on to post up. They posted up Hines. By the time they get into Kamasa, going to look to get that ball inside.
Jaden Jackson.
Nice screen there from Andrew Bastion. The coaches from UTRGV were yelling for an illegal screen, but it's a very solid screen by Andrew to free up Jaden for the jumper.
Well, both teams come out smoking. Kamasa buries that one.
Here comes another screen from Andrew right up top. That time they went under it. He's very active, setting these screens and then rolling just like that to the basket.
Great assist from Jaden Jackson. Bastion's first 2.
That's easy offense. That's what the Wolverines, I think, have been lacking a little bit. That type of basket from Andrew, getting him involved early. An easy shot at the rim.
2 minutes gone. Wolverines in their normal offense that we've seen all season. Long jumper outside, in and out. Connor Fry.
You see what effect Andrew had in his basket? Jaden comes off the screen once again. Andrew rolls, the defense has to suck in, which leaves the kick out and Connor wide open. Great offense.
Keel Hines showing why he's one of the top 5 scorers in the Western Athletic Conference. Was open for the 3, didn't take it. It was UVU's first turnover.
There's another post out there. Getting Kamasa the ball early and active inside. That time more of a mid-range jump
shot. 3-pointer, bottom. Ivory Young, so far this season, hasn't had a lot of looks at the 3. That's only his 13th one. Last year at Navarro Junior College, he was 12th in the nation at 3-point shooting, hit 45% of it.
I think a lot of his threes, another pass inside, they're going to get a foul before the shot on Andrew Bastion. talking about Ivory, I think a lot of his threes that I've seen have been in transition, or like that last play where there was some dribble penetration, able to kick that ball out, get it to him in the corner.
Wolverines on the break, got numbers. Hayden Skank. And a blocking foul will put Skank at the free throw line. Osborne. His first, team second.
Nice job. Wolverines, great sign for me, Jim, early on, is how active UVU has been in transition. We've seen Ivory push the ball. We've seen Marcel push the ball up. That time, Hayden Skank pushes the ball up. They've been very aggressive, which to me seems like it's the right mindset for them to be in. They're not. Their aggressiveness is where it needs to be. They're not going to remain back and be passive with their transition offense.
The delay here is that the officials reported the wrong player.
On the foul, or did they say it was not Hayden?
They're going to look at the monitor. What in the world? I mean, it was either a charge or a block. It's not a media timeout. It's just officials trying to figure out what the heck they're doing. Trying to see if he's in the restricted area. I can't quite see down that far.
Yeah, I think he was without question in the restricted area. I think they're reviewing potentially who the foul was on. And they just signaled number 1, so they must be confirming he was on Everett Osborne.
All right. So the foul is against Osborne. It remains 11-6. UVU by 5. That's Hayden Skank, who will be at the free throw line. Skank, one of several walk-ons on this UVU team. At some points this year in the game, I looked out there, and UVU has had as many as 4 walk-ons on the floor at the same time. This team has been decimated by injuries this season. 2 starters never even saw any action this year. Injured in preseason action. 2 more. One starter went down after the season. Another player, Telly Davenport, wasn't a starter but was a key member of the bench also after the season. So the Wolverines had to patch together a lineup. Working hard inside. No go for Kamasa. There is Hamilton. Took care of that. Ivory Young takes care of business at the other end.
Back to that point about the transition offense. Again, Ivory pushing, forcing UTRGV to call a timeout here. But fantastic transition offense from Ivory and the team to start off the game here. It starts because of the defense that they've had.
Media timeout. Wolverines on an 8-0 run.
When I was hired as the new coach at UVU, I knew that if we were going to win games, we'd have to have fans in the seats. I'm not much of a marketing guy, but I have some friends that know a thing or two about it.
All right, Coach. This is all about face-to-face interaction. That was actually pretty good. If this whole basketball thing doesn't work out, you should give me a call.
If you're looking to earn money this summer, stop by the Vantage marketing booth on the concourse during our games or visit choosevantage.com.
You are watching UVU TV.
Three of their first 8. 83% shooting to start for UVU. Not a bad start, that's for sure.
We have typically seen when the Wolverines get off to quick starts, that usually is a great sign for them. One thought that I had, Jim, in preparation for the game, talking about this hot start, I think the Wolverines are searching for a little bit of consistency. And what I would love to see tonight is a full 40 minutes of basketball. You know, we've seen San Diego Christian, they played, maybe 32 minutes of basketball. They had stretches, maybe, against New Mexico State, as we get a steal here in transition. I'll finish the thought in a minute as Hayden's got the ball in the wing.
Oh, go ahead.
I just think that if they can put together, their Achilles heel has been, they haven't been able to play a full 40 minutes of basketball. And if they can do that tonight, that's what they need to do.
Bottom, Jaden Jackson, left corner. 11 straight points for UVU. It was 6-6.
I think for UVU, the message is here comes another transition opportunity, even though it wasn't initially from Connor who was pushing the ball up, but the Vaqueros having a hard time getting back in transition and setting the defense, and the Wolverines have clearly been the aggressors.
Elmore picks up his first foul. That's the team's third. He'll take a seat. Osborne back in. .17 shot clock, 15-minute first half game clock. Wolverines in the middle of 11-0 run. Goaltending. Defender's hand went up through the net. Can't do that.
Good call there from the official.
Not intentionally, it's just one of those things. Wrong spot, wrong time. But it counts as 2 for UVU. And 13 straight points is the run.
And nice double team there from Connor. Coming over, knocking the ball out.
Connor Fry. Almost
too wide open.
Yeah. That's the easiest shot Connor's had this entire season. He was shocked to be that wide open. See if he can do it this time. There's wide open Ivory Young. Bottom.
Ivory Young with another 3.
Wow, 16 straight points for UVU.
And the Vaqueros are still just trying to push that ball inside and get some post-ups, but the Wolverine defense, as you get some help over Darius Hamilton with a strong block, the defense inside has been too much.
When it rains, it pours. Jaden Jackson, nothing but the bottom of the net. 19 straight points for UVU. Last time Rio Grande, it's got to be Rio. Last time Rio Grande scored, it was at the 17:39 mark. It was 4 minutes ago. Connor Fry. UVU on their longest run of the season, 21 straight points.
You know, it doesn't hurt that they're 10 of 12 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. They're on fire.
Finally a 3.
Yeah, finally a basket there from Antonio Green.
Stops the bleeding. 4.5 minutes of nothing but UVU scoring. Jaden Jackson again. My goodness gracious. Jackson already with 11 points. Ivory Young with 10.
Illegal screen. Illegal screen, number 35, Slaughter.
Fourth team foul. Brings us to all sorts of substitutions. UVU players don't want to come out. You know why? Because they're playing really well.
Yeah, what a start for UVU here, on fire from the field. But couple that with what they've done defensively, you know, they've forced 4 of 13, 31% from the field, 33 from 3. No free throw attempts yet from Rio Grande. Perfect start on both sides of the court.
Jaden Jackson, he needs to stay in the corner evidently. Jackson's first miss tonight.
You know, and Rio Grande has gone to a zone.
Davis for 3. Ball will belong to Rio Grande. 20 seconds on their shot clock, but that's going to bring us to another media timeout. Just under 12 minutes to play here in this first half. UVU flexing some muscle. They lead it by 21.
I hate math. I can't count how many times I've heard people say that. And as a math teacher, I take it personally. So, while working on my master's at UVU, I developed ways to help kids not hate math. Does engaged learning make a difference? You do the math.
Back at the UCCU Center, I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Matt, you talked in the pregame show about the fact that, or maybe it was after the game started, but the fact that it'd be nice to see UVU play a whole game instead of just a great half. Right now, they're having a great half.
They're absolutely having a great half, and it's going to be so important for them to continue this for that full 40 minutes. I really think that that's something important to watch for the rest of the game, because UTRGV is just shocked. I mean, they're shell-shocked. You can see it on the faces of the players. They don't know. They're so confused on defense. They've been in man a couple of possessions. They've gone to a zone. They're so lost. And the Wolverines' ball movement, their screening, their passing has got the Vaqueros all sorts of confused, because the Wolverines are getting open shots from anywhere. The wings, the corners, inside in transition. It's been a terrific start.
Jaden Jackson with 11, Ivory Young with 10. Meanwhile, the leading scorer for Rio Grande right now, Kamasa, with 4. Osborne misses, tipped out. UVU basketball. Rio Grande just 4 of 14 from the floor.
Yeah, and I mentioned a couple possessions ago, the Wolverines were so on fire, I couldn't tell what defense, but they've gone to a 2-3 zone, has Rio Grande, and so the Wolverines just be patient. They've been able to carve up this zone so far.
Deion Goodman first touch tonight into the game for the first time.
I mean, you see it, Jim. The ball's not sticking. It's moving.
Marcel for 3. And Osborne with the rebound for Rio Grande.
That's a great shot. The ball movement against the zone was fantastic.
Green misses the jumper, but got his own rebound. Missed them both. Davis now. .45 left here, first half. UTRGV just one of their last 10 shots. 4 turnovers in the last 6:40. UVU smoking hot. 5 seconds to shoot. Marcel looks at that shot clock, lets it fly just at the buzzer, and he was fouled. Foul's going to go against Antonio Green. For Green, it'll be foul number 1, team's 6th foul. Check that, team's 5th foul. Rio Grande being called for 5 fouls. Utah Valley just 1. The senior from American Fork, Utah, makes the first. Marcel's first points tonight. This for a guy who had 22 here on Thursday night, Marcel Davis, in the loss to New Mexico State, a game that UVU had a 12-point lead early in the second half and just couldn't hold it.
Yeah, Coach Pope said it in the interview afterwards, Jim, where they lost their juice. They didn't have the energy. That kind of is why I'm thinking about playing the full 40 minutes, because even Coach Pope admitted it. But you know what? First 10 minutes here has been fantastic to see, and I'm very impressed on defense, because they have really put passes and shots like that is what Rio Grande is left with.
Goodman with the rebound, outlet pass, Davis. Jaden Jackson for 3 again. Bottom. Jaden Jackson with 14 points. That matches what he had Thursday night. And oh, by the way, his career high is 23, and he's still got 30 minutes to play in this game.
Yeah, that play right there is what could cause the Wolverines some trouble on defense. Kamasa has some size inside. And another
my
three.
Goodness. Jaden Jackson just set up camp in that left corner and let him fly.
Yeah, I think all of his threes have been from the corner. That corner. maybe the previous one was from the wing, but
he's hit all 5 of them tonight.
Nice basket there from Ott Elmore. But they would be wise, would the Rio Grande Valley, to get on this guy right here.
Oh, he missed. First miss tonight for Jaden Jackson from 3-point range. He had made his first 5 before that. Long shot the other way, won't go for Elmore. Eight and a half to play. UVU out by 25 points. Mentioned earlier, these two teams fairly familiar, the programs are familiar with each other. This is the 21st time they've played, but it's the first time we've seen anything like this, with either team just blasting out of the door.
Those plays, Jim, right there that the Wolverines just came up with, the play from Marcel coming down. We don't see those much in the stat sheet. I mean, they might show up as a steal, but that play has happened multiple times where the Wolverines have come down, their guards have come down from the perimeter and been a pest to the big guys. Knocked the ball away, maybe double teamed, at least got them thinking that, hey, I've got another guy coming down that I have to worry about. And those plays don't appear in the stat sheet, but they're very effective, and the Wolverines have done a really nice job of, the guards of the Wolverines have done a really nice job of coming down and causing some confusion to the bigs.
Connor Fry 5 points here. Make it 6 for the leading scorer on the season, who comes in here averaging just under 15 a game. Jackson on the bench to cool off for a while for UVU. 3-point attempt, Elmore. Their second 3. Marcel Davis kicks out to Skink. Fry cut off on his drive. Ivory Young, I'm not sure he knew what he was going to do with that ball when he went up in the air, but he whipped a pass over to Fry, who takes the 3 this time. No, but Skank is there and has his shot blocked from behind by 6'2" Ott Elmore.
I think Hayden thought that he was a lot less open than he was. He had a wide open offensive rebound there. But nice job rebounding down for Hayden. He is very active inside.
Green with another 3, back-to-back 3s for the Vaqueros. They've hit 4 of their last 5 shots now, and they're on a little 6-0 run. Davis gets his second basket of the evening, or his first basket of the evening. He had 2 free throws before that.
And that play is indicative of what happens when you get red-hot 3-point shooters. The defense, if you're playing a zone, you have to get out to the shooters, and what is left open is the inside driving lanes like that, and Marcel just took advantage.
Ivory Young for 3. Ivory Young has hit 3 out of 4 from long range. Jaden Jackson's hit 5 out of 6. Wolverines 8 of 14 from long range here in this first half. Still got just over 6 minutes to play.
Nice basket there from Christopher Ekinebe. Jump shot from the free throw line. Going to get a travel here on Marcel.
And that will bring us to a media timeout. Utah Valley way out in front of UTRGV, 45-21. Back in a minute on UVU TV.
What, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
Well, the Wolverines have cooled off, Matt.
Yep.
Shooting just a measly 62% right now. Well above their season average of what they came in here shooting 42%. Heck of a first half so far for UVU. Meanwhile, Rio Grande, they're just struggling.
Yeah.
And part of that comes when the other team is so red hot.
Yeah,
it affects you.
Yeah, I think they've almost picked up their pace a little bit. They look a little rushed on offense. Not, their style of play is not to match the style of play of the Wolverines. And I think they feel that, hey, we're behind by so much. We've got to pick up our pace of play, and it's got them out of sorts. Yeah, 9 of 24 from the field, 3 of 6 from the three. That's the lone bright spot. But Rio Grande hasn't even attempted a free throw, Jim. We're almost done with the first half. They haven't even shot a free throw.
UVU's only committed one foul.
UVU's only committed one foul. UVU's got 7 of 7 from the free throw line. So UVU's doing a terrific job of defending without fouling.
The step back won't go. Darius Hamilton pulls down the board. I'm sure our fans or our listeners, viewers down in South Texas are saying, no, UVU's only been called for one foul.
It's been a pretty clean game, honestly, from both teams. It's been the fouls from Rio Grande have clearly been fouls, but
here's another three on the right side and an offensive rebound from Robigwe. They've got a fresh 30-second shot clock to work with. Under 5 to play here in our opening frame. UVU has not trailed. This game was tied 3 times in the early going.
Officials conferring here, both of them with their arms up. They're going to call a blocking foul.
That one's going to get called against Hayden Skank of UVU. I think they had different opinions on that.
Yeah, we'll see the replay there. Who knows how that call is going to go. I think Hayden looked like he was in good position, but he may have just moved ever so slightly.
Well, the officials are human too, and they can look up at the scoreboard and say, look, we've already called 6 against UTRGV and only 1 against UVU. So when there's a questionable one like that, let's give it against you.
And they're so bang too. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to. You very rarely see a bang play like that unless it's a clear offensive foul go in favor of the guy taking the charge, and that time it didn't go in Hayden's favor. And it looks like Rio Grande playing a little bit different defense here. They'd been playing a 2-3 zone. Now it looks like they're more in a 1-3-1, trying to get out into the corners. They've got number 55, Antonio Green, playing the baseline or playing the one guy at the bottom of the 1-3-1 zone with the responsibility of getting out in the corners. Stepped out of bounds, Jaden did.
Well, he really did camp out in that left corner that time.
Did.
Caught the ball and took a step backwards to start his drive and went out of bounds.
Yeah, I think that Coach Hipsher's thinking we didn't do a very good job with the man. We did a terrible job with the zone, because that's when the 2-3 zone, that is. That's when the Wolverines went on the run. Trying something different, a 1-3-1. I had thought a few minutes ago I'd be surprised if they didn't go back to the man, just so that, if anything, the Wolverines wouldn't get as many easy shots.
Darius Hamilton being called for the foul for UVU.
Yeah, you see a move inside here. Yeah, there's a lot of contact there. I think Darius for sure got the ball, but
up high
he got the ball. Maybe a little contact around the shoulder. Obviously Darius didn't agree with it, but the foul was called. I will say he has played terrific post defense. I thought Andrew, when he was in, he had played terrific post defense, staying vertical, not going for any ball fakes or shot fakes, making the Rio Grande interior players play over them and through them on any attempt that they have. that was one of the lone fouls. I think probably the only foul that we've seen a Wolverine big commit inside tonight. Now, Andrew had an earlier foul, excuse me, but still, for how much Rio Grande is trying to post the ball up, the interior defense has been great.
Little floater from Marcel Davis, short. UVU on a little scoring drought now. They haven't scored in almost 3 minutes. After that 21 straight point run they had, they've gone a little cold. Inside, Hamilton stripped.
Legal screen. Adonis Rabigui, that was a clear moving screen as he was setting a flare screen out on the perimeter for Antonio Green.
His first, team 6. Our final media timeout of the first half. UVU leading by 21 points. Back in a minute.
Watching UVU TV.
What a difference 48 hours makes. UVU with a big time lead over UTRGV. But then again, UVU right now on almost 3.5 minutes since they've scored a point.
Yeah. I think that it's one of those things where we've seen the Wolverines go on a run. They've just hit a little slow patch here. They've got to finish the half here strong. Looking at the stats, Jim, the Wolverines only have 3 turnovers. That has been fantastic. They've taken care of the basketball, and they've made 15 shots. 13 of those have been assisted. So unselfish play, hitting the open guy, passing to the open teammate. 13 shots, 13 assists on 15 makes. That's fantastic. And here's another one, another assist right there on a made 3.
Marcel Davis's first 3-pointer of the evening gives him 7 overall, and UVU has doubled up. University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Jump hook won't go. Ivory Young with the rebound.
Rio Grande back to this 1-3-1.
Connor Fry. No, Deion Goodman's follow will go down.
Yeah, that's one thing that you can do against a zone, especially a 1-3-1 zone, is you can break the momentum if you can crash the offensive glass. There's going to be a lot of space when you're in a 1-3-1 zone getting offensive boards.
Inside, Kamasa works for it, gets the and one.
Yeah, Deion there, I think he pounded his chest as if to say that was my fault, because he was a little bit late rotating around trying to front Kamasa. The ball got through his initial defense, gets inside, and then Connor a little bit late on the rotation. I believe it was him that was called for the foul as he had to come over and give help.
First foul against Connor Fry, fourth team foul against UVU in this first half.
Coach Hipsher signaling they're going to go back to a 2-3 defense. I'm surprised at this, Jim. I really am, because what's killed Rio Grande is the three, and when you play against a zone, if you take time and work the ball, travel inside on Deon, unfortunately. But if you take care of the basketball, you work it around, you can get a three-point shot, and I'm surprised that Rio Grande has stayed in that.
Well, we haven't talked about the fact that, you know, a lot of teams come here and playing at altitude, you know, that can wear you down. And when you've just played a game Thursday night against Grand Canyon, and you fly here to the Rocky Mountain area, you're up pretty high, and a lot of players have some tough time breathing here, especially against a team like UVU that's going to run and run and run.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rio Grande hasn't done a ton of substituting either, so those guys have been out there, and, you know, with what UVU is doing on offense, it's another travel here from Deon. But
back-to-back from Deon.
What UVU is doing on offense, it's more mental. It affects you more mentally than it does physically at this point, because you're thinking we're doing all these different things, and yet UVU is still knocking down jump shots. So I think Rio Grande is more affected mentally right now than physically.
Ball belongs to UVU. RGV just one of their last 7.
And this offense from RGV is it's very post-up heavy. You know, we haven't seen a lot of threes from them. They've only attempted 7. They're trying to get that ball inside to Kamasa. They're trying to get it into Slaughter. They're trying to get it into Equinibe. They're trying to pound that ball inside for easy baskets.
UVU commits their 6th turnover and gives up 2 points at the other end because of it. .25 seconds left in this one, first half. Skank misses the 3. Shot clock now off. UTRGV can play for the last shot if they so desire.
They're going to go flat here. It's going to be just Antonio Bound trying to create. Excuse me, Antonio Green trying to create.
And they do a nice job hitting the 3 from the corner. That was Osborne, buried that one. So UVU, who led in the first half by as many as 27, sends us to the locker rooms with just a 19-point lead for Utah Valley, who committed 3 turnovers last 2 minutes, 19 seconds. It was one of those hot and cold Jekyll and Hyde first halves. We'll talk more about it when we get back. Our halftime show comes up next here on UVU TV.
You are watching UVU TV.
Back at the UCCU Center, Jim McCall along with Matt Peterson. UVU leading University of Texas Rio Grande Valley at halftime, 50-31, a 19-point lead for UVU. Probably one of their better halves this season, but you mentioned it several times, partner. We've seen this before.
Yeah, we have. That was, I think, part of the message at halftime, saying, guys, we got a whole nother half. To me, so far, the game was that run that the Wolverines put on.
Yeah.
You know, what was it, 19 or 21 straight points that the Wolverines had. And it was quick, and it was an onslaught. And, you know, the difference to me is that the shooting, Wolverines 55% from the field, they've hit 9 threes in the first half. That's been just fantastic. So, we see some stats here. The field goal percentage has been the difference. 14 assists on 17 made shots for the Wolverines. UVU, with Texas Rio Grande shooting so badly, is dominating on the boards. Been a pretty clean game foul-wise. The Wolverines are 7 of 7 from the free throw line. And, a clean game otherwise with the turnovers for both teams as well. So it was that run that the Wolverines went on, the hot streak that they had, knocking down all those threes. Jaden with 17, Ivory with 13. Those guys, 8 of the 9 threes.
I think we've got a highlight reel scheduled to run. We'll let you walk us through here. Boy, early going, it was Ivory Young and Jaden Jackson.
You knew what set it up. I mentioned so much those threes that the Wolverines hit, and we're going to see a lot of them here in the first half. But you're going to see a mix of shots at the basket and shots from the perimeter, because I thought early on the Wolverines did a tremendous job. I mentioned it several times, pushing it in transition, setting the tone, and I honestly think that led to the success that the Wolverines had from the three-point line, because Texas Rio Grande was so concerned with getting back in their transition defense that once they did that, the Wolverines just worked the ball around the perimeter, and it was shot after shot went down after that.
50-31, UVU way out in front, but we've seen it before where they've been way out in front. They just can't hold it in the second half. We're going to take another break when we get, no, we're not. We're going to talk about TNC. It's TNC night here, College of Technology and Computing. They're one of the 8 colleges here on the campus of Utah Valley University. In fact,
I want to see you get out there, Jim. Can you hurry and get out there with one of those balls?
I would love to do that, except now they're showing the Green Man Group instead. I can't do that, but I could do one of those bubble ball things, knock somebody down. Those are some TNC faculty members out there having a little contest. Let's take a look at the College of Technology and Computing.
Welcome to Utah Valley University. My name is Michael Savoy, and I'm the Dean of the College of Technology and Computing, or as we affectionately know it, TNC. I want to welcome you to one of the most beautiful places on earth. As you can see behind me, we have mountains in the backdrop, we have a lake on the other side, snowboarding, skiing, hiking and biking, anything you need. And oh, by the way, you can get a really good education here as well. But let me give you a quick introduction to TNC and show you how you get a real degree that will help you land a terrific job. We offer some of the most dynamic and vigorous programs in the country. With over 4,000 students and an award-winning faculty of dedicated professionals, we have become the place for not only students to come to get an education, but also the place for employers to come and find some of the best trained, most qualified employees in the nation. Our programs here at TNC include one of the top automotive technology programs in the nation. Here students learn everything from engine repair to diesel mechanics to paint shop processes, all the way to how to take an old clunker and turn it into a hot rod. And if you're really good, you can be on the Wolverine racing team, which holds 5 world land speed records out at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Talk about graduating with a great resume. Or how about our computer science program? With state-of-the-art computer labs, our students learn the latest and greatest on a variety of devices and platforms. Whether you're interested in computer engineering, software development, or designing the next hot video game, we'll teach you everything you need to know. Our computer science graduates are being hired by some pretty big name companies. One of our students recently won the title of top computer programmer in the nation. Or if you want a real hands-on program, check out our construction technology department. If you want to supervise construction sites or manage commercial projects, or be a dependable home builder, then this is the place for you. Our students are truly involved in the community, annually building a Habitat for Humanity home. Our construction competition teams have brought home first place trophies for several straight years. We are also home to the Culinary Arts Institute, which is turning out some of the greatest chefs in the country. The last 3 years have seen our students win top regional and national awards. For many of our culinary students, this is where they learn everything they need to open their own restaurants or catering companies. And don't forget about our digital media program. This truly is one of the most popular programs on campus. And no wonder, as they turn out award-winning movies, video games, and other products. Many of our digital media students are offered jobs before they even graduate. Then there's our Engineering, Graphics, and Design Technology department, training the newest generation of engineers, architects, and surveyors. If you're interested in drafting, surveying, geomatics, 3D modeling, CAD or architectural drawing, we have great 3D printer technology as well, in case you're into that. Or if you're interested in robotics or mechatronics or going into engineering, then you should check out our Engineering Technology department. We've got some of the most advanced lab equipment in the entire state of Utah. This is truly a resume building environment. And our Information Systems and Technology department always seems to have more job offers than we can fill. Jobs like software developers, programmers, digital forensics investigators. You know, all the cool jobs. If you're one of those folks who knows they'd make a good business leader, then our Technology Management department is for you. You get to pick your favorite technology field, and then we will train you how to be a top-notch manager in that specialty. So if you're looking for a great education, a great job, and a great place to live, work, and have fun, come join us at Utah Valley University and in the College of Technology and Computing.
TNC, what are you gonna be? All right, we're back live. You saw him on tape, now he's live. This is Dean Michael Savoy, the Dean of the College of Technology and Computing.
Great to be with you, Jim.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. We just saw the video about TNC, and we talked about the programs. Let's talk about the situation of students getting jobs, because around Utah, your students are in pretty high demand.
They are, and one of the things we really love about the college is that we have 9 different departments, and in those departments, you'll see as many as 100% of our students having jobs before they graduate.
Wow.
Which is really what at the end of the day, the goal of college is really to get everybody who comes in either a job or a better job than they had coming in. And so when we look at numbers and realize that the college as a whole has about an 84% higher rate prior to graduation, we know we're doing something right.
And it's a lot of non-traditional students too, not just guys who just finished high school who start immediately. You've got people who've been out of high school for a while coming back.
We do. In fact, almost half of our students are not what's called non-traditional students who are not coming directly out of high school,
right,
but they're really coming in looking for a better job, a better career, and TNC is really set up to help those students achieve that.
And not only are they getting a degree, but a lot of them, as you've said, are getting jobs before they graduate, and they're winning a ton of awards too.
They are, and that's one of the things we're most proud of. I mean, we are 2-time defending national champions in Skills USA. We had a group of our students, along with the business school, compete in the Adobe Analytics contest. We finished 2nd in the nation there. We lost to Northwestern, the Kellogg School at Northwestern, but we ended up beating Duke and MIT and Stanford. And so our students are really competing well. And the thing we're most proud of right now is that one of our students, Victor Perez, one of our culinary arts students, has just recently been named the top student chef in the Americas and will be defending the Americas in Greece in 2016 for the World Championship.
When you say Americas, we're talking North and South America. He's the best.
He is the best in North and South America.
That's not bad. But the culinary arts, automotive, they're considered trades, and a lot of folks sort of thumb their nose at trades, saying, oh no, you need to graduate in something more cerebral. But you know, until your car breaks down and you need a great mechanic.
Well, and that's the thing. And then most people know today, if you open up a hood on your car, it's not like when you and I were kids, you know. Today, cars are mostly computers, they're composite materials. So when we say trades today, we're really talking about technologies, and some of the most advanced technologies in the world are being taught right here at UVU.
So if people are interested in any of the programs, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, the best way to do is to go to the website, go to uvu.edu/TC. Technology and Computing. Go to the website, look through all the different departments, look at everything that's going on, and then pick up a phone and call. I mean, our faculty, our staff, our advisors are there, they're available. They'd love to talk to new students and love to have the parents come in. We love giving tours of the college, showing off what we're doing. We are far and away the best kept secret in the state of Utah, and we'd like to change that.
I don't know about the best kept secret. You've not had a drop in enrollment in 6 straight years here at UVU.
8 years. So yeah, in fact, we're up 8% again this spring. So that makes right at 15 semesters in a row.
And we've got a lot of viewers down in South Texas who are probably thinking, yeah, UVU, how big? 33,000?
Almost 34,000 students, the largest university in the state of Utah. The College of Technology and Computing is over 11,000 students now. 4,000 majors, so not a little school in the Valley anymore.
Pretty impressive stuff. They're telling me we're out of time, Dean. Dean Michael Savoy, thanks very much.
Jim, thanks for having me. Go Wolverines.
You bet. We're going to take another break. We'll be back with your second half coming up next right here on UVU TV.
When I was hired as the new coach at UVU, I knew that if we were going to win games, we'd have to have fans in the seats. I'm not much of a marketing guy, but I have some friends that know a thing or two about it.
All right, Coach. This is all about face-to-face interaction. That was actually pretty good. If this whole basketball thing doesn't work out, you should give me a call.
If you're looking to earn money this summer, stop by the Vantage marketing booth on the concourse during our games or visit choosevantage.com.
People talk about life after college, you know, entering the real world. But this is engaged learning. I'm not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. I'm learning by doing. I'm at UVU. I'm in the real world every day.
Oh, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
You're watching UVU TV.
Coach Mark Pope giving his Wolverines last-minute instructions before we start this second half. You got to be impressed with the job Coach Pope has done. A rookie, brand new head coach, spent several years as assistant coach, 2 or 3 different places, most recently at BYU. And there's Dan Hipsher in his 3rd season. He hasn't exactly been around the Vaqueros a long time either, but he's now one of the senior guys in the WAC, it seems like.
Yeah, both guys coach pretty hard, and I think they're both energetic. Looking ahead here to the second half, Jim, I would think if you're Rio Grande, you've got to be somewhat happy with how the half ended and the fact that despite the onslaught shooting-wise that the Wolverines had, you're only down 19 points. So a lot of basketball left. Terrific start here for UVU. Marcel penetrating and a nice dish off to Andrew Bastian, but baskets like that really hurt Rio Grande, and when you can get an easy basket at the rim for UVU, that's fantastic. Andrew had an earlier basket where he rolled to the rim and got an easy layup again, so great start so far.
Bastian going to be called for the foul. He's been a magnet for fouls in this first half of the season.
Yeah.
You notice Andrew, you can't quite see it in the shot there, but he's playing with a brace on his right knee. He's playing with a partially torn meniscus, has all season. And I asked him why he never wore anything, but tonight he is. He said, look, how much worse can it get? I'm a little worried for him if he's actually wearing a brace that it is getting worse.
Yeah, well, he hasn't shown it. I mean, maybe his minutes have been limited a little bit, but he's played through it, and it doesn't seem to be really affecting him from what we can see, from what how his play is. He looks like he's toughening through it, if that's even a word.
He doesn't practice much. I know that. He's very limited minutes in practice, and sometimes, especially on the road, when the team will go to shoot around the morning of the game, he won't even go out there.
Yeah.
He'll just watch from the sideline.
Jim, Rio Grande back to a man-to-man defense. That's what I thought they would do a little bit earlier in the game, but they're in a man-to-man now.
Davis misses. Bastian has the ball slapped away out of his hands. UVU will control.
Yeah, so you see plays like that from Andrew. I mean, that's a fantastic offensive rebound. Even though he doesn't come down with it, he gives the team a second chance, but rebounding well out of his area. And 5-second call on Marcel underneath. That play was really slow developing, trying to get Jaden coming off a screen inside, but turnover for UVU.
They're 7th. They started the game pretty well. They've now got 7 turnovers compared to UTRGV's 6.
Yeah. And I think from what we've seen in the first half, the only thing that I think would really hurt UVU on offense from Rio Grande is plays like this, post-up. Offensive rebounds, like they get a tip chance there, but for the most part, UVU's done a terrific job with the perimeter defense. Oh, what a look ahead from Marcel.
Again, Bastian so wide open he couldn't believe it, I think. Ivory Young for 3. Bastian fights hard for the rebound. Collides with Shaquille Hines. And Bastian picks up the foul. Going to be his 3rd. First player on either team with 3.
That's been one thing that's really hurt him too, is foul trouble.
Yeah.
He gets into trouble when he's in foul trouble because that limits his time on the court, and he's got to come out. And obviously the preference would be to have him in there, but foul trouble has limited him at times.
2 minutes deep into our second half. UVU by 20. There's a 3 long range. That one coming from Slaughter.
And just as I talk about how Rio Grande isn't going to hurt the Wolverines from deep.
Way to go.
Slaughter with the 3-point shot. He's only 32% on the season on 85 attempts coming into the game. So
Ivory Young off the glass.
Did he call the bank there?
I think I heard it.
We'll give it to him.
Bank is open. Ivory Young, career high, 15 point, or sorry. Yes, it is. Career high, 15 points. Tops the 14 that he had against Idaho State. Career high as a Division I player. He had more than that at junior college, but for Division I, this is his best scoring game. 5 seconds to shoot. They get it off with 2 seconds left to go, and Connor Fry pulls down the board.
Great defense, perfect position. Get a turnover here. You know, Jim, these are the things that I imagine drive Coach Pope crazy. Is when you have that lead, you are aware of the time or aware of the score, Those passes right there are better not made. Rather hold that ball, make sure you just bring it up, because you don't want to turn it over early in the shot clock and give Rio Grande more possessions.
Darius Hamilton slaps it away, tracks it down. Nice job by the senior from San Antonio.
Great hustle getting around the screen.
Wide open for three in the corner. Jaden Jackson misses that one, and a foul on the rebound, Connor Fry. No, it's going to go the other way.
Yeah, they're going to get offensive foul there.
Quinnipiac?
Yep. You see Connor going in for the offensive rebound. Quinnipiac with the right hand extended, holding Connor off inside. He gets the foul.
Saw the grimace on Connor's face. I thought the foul was on him. I didn't even have to look at the ref, but evidently I do. First foul against Quinnipiac. First foul this half against the Vaqueros. Marcel Davis to the hole.
Yeah, see what you got to do. You had Jaden in the corner. The lower defender is aware of that. He had to give help or give more help out to Jaden in the corner, and against that zone, just easy penetration with the gaps that are in the zone.
Whoa. The attempted slam was not there. Darius Hamilton going to get called for the foul for UVU. For Hamilton, it's going to be foul number 2. Third team foul this half. Just under 16 minutes to play. The officials haven't noticed it yet, but this should be a media timeout, and finally one of them does. So we will take the media timeout with them. UVU out in front by 21 points. UTRGV just 1 of 4 shooting here in the second half, but UVU not a whole lot better at 3 out of 7. UVU not looking to me, Matt, as sharp as they did in that first half.
Well, it's understandable. I mean, you set the bar really high with how they played in the first half, and you can't play at that level all the time. But thankfully they built the game up. They had that lead, and their defense has still kept them in it. That to me is maybe more of the story tonight than their offense was their defense, or how their defense is playing. And I really would think that, looking at what Rio Grande tries to do on offense, they're trying to post their guys up. And so if the Wolverines can limit that or hold that part of the game off, then that's going to be where they keep their defensive advantage. It's almost as if they're, Wolverines are saying, hey, beat us with the 3. Try and beat us with the 3. We'll give you that.
Shaquille Hines, just his 4th point tonight. Very quiet first half where he had just 2. Came in here as their leading scorer at 14.6 a game. Senior out of Chicago. Pulls to within 19.
Rio Grande back to the 2-3 zone. That's when the Wolverines had the most success on offense, was the 2-3 zone.
Ivory stripped away on his way to the rack. UVU will have 19 seconds on their shot clock to work with.
Well, that ball was off Ivory too. Wolverines catch a break.
Jaden for 3. Missed that one. Foul on the rebound.
Get Darius with the reach over the top.
Third personal foul against Darius Hamilton. So now you got UVU's 2 big inside guys, if you will, Bastion and Hamilton, and they're not all that big, but that's what they got to work with right now. They both got 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's you're going to get Corey Cardwell checking into the game can't imagine he's coming in for Darius, but yeah, they've got to stay out of foul trouble with their bigs. That's going to be a foul on Antonio Green.
Darius trying not to commit his 4th foul, trying to stay out of the way, and as a result, got all sorts of contact from Green.
Yeah, clear foul on Green.
Green's 2nd foul, 2nd team foul this half. UVU will have a week off after tonight. They don't play next week until Saturday. They're on the road at Grand Canyon. Right now, Grand Canyon with a 3-point lead over New Mexico State in their basketball game. Three-pointer's good. A little 5-0 run from UTRGV.
Yeah, I think this is a big possession for the Wolverines. Rio Grande picking up some energy. The Wolverines not scoring. They need a basket here.
Hayden Skank over to Cardwell. Darius Hamilton working it tough inside.
Yeah, I love that. Very patient on offense, working the ball around the perimeter, and the whole time Darius is working for position inside, positioning himself. And what a very great, a very patient, nice post move.
Long 2.
Yeah, Antonio Green. We didn't mention him much in the first half. He does average just over 11 points a game.
Got 13 tonight. Ivory Young. Wolverines not shooting in the second half nearly like they shot in the first half. They're just 4 out of 11.
Yeah, and I'll say something that I'm seeing. I think the Wolverines are relying far too much on the 3 right now. It was going good in the first half, but they're shooting a lot of 3s here in the second half, and they're not falling. So I'd love to see them get the ball inside the Darius a little bit more, because this is setting up for kind of what we've seen before. When the Wolverines go cold from the outside, Rio Grande is making their run. 15-point lead right now for UVU.
Hamilton goes out. Marcel Davis goes out. Goodman's back in. Connor Fry back in.
One thing we didn't mention, at least I haven't mentioned, is Rio Grande Valley. They have 4 guys that average over 11 points a game, and one that averages, Dakota Slaughter, that averages 10, just under 10 points a game. So again, credit to the defense of UVU, but Rio Grande Valley has some guys that can score. They just weren't there in the first half, and starting to see a little bit more here in the second.
Skank on the baseline drive. Might have had the reverse layup open to him, but instead Connor Fry bottom from the corner. Fry's got 9 points.
That was a big shot from Connor, because we just talked about the run. Big basket.
Jaden Jackson gives over to Fry, lost it.
Can't call timeout like that, can you? I believe that's one of the rule changes. I don't think, I may be incorrect, but he was falling out of bounds, calling timeout, and they didn't give him that.
Goes in the books as a turnover. UVU's 9th. 61-44. 13 minutes left. UVU has not trailed in this game. It was tied 3 times early in the going. Inside foul against UVU. This one's going to go against Deion Goodman. His first, team's 6th of the half.
Yeah, with the foul trouble, maybe just trying to rest Andrew and Darius. You've got Deion inside. I think that's a tough matchup for him inside defensively against Kamasa. Kamasa's a big guy, listed at 6'10", 230. He's probably not all 6'10", but he's got size and length inside, and they pound it into him, and he's a left-hander, so it's not something that you see every day. Although Darius is left-hand, so Deion probably gets a lot of that in practice, but he's a big body inside.
UVU's one-time 27-point lead is down to 15. 6 seconds to shoot. Fry will take a three. Slaughter with the rebound. UVU second half shooting just 5 of 13. Rio Grande just hasn't had that many opportunities. They're 3 of 7.
Offensive foul.
That time I believe it was Kamasa pushing off from behind, right?
Yeah, because Deon was fronting, had a lot of space behind him. I don't think there was a UVU defender back there. We didn't have the best angle here, but they called for the push-off, which really wasn't needed because Kamasa had a ton of space behind him. He just pushed off Deon, but nice job, Deon, getting around front, forcing the pass over the top. Rio Grande back to the 1-3-1 defense.
Connor Fry into double digits with 11.
That defense doesn't work for them. I don't know why they go back to that. The Wolverines' ball movement and patience. You know, you've only got one guy along the baseline. Connor just ate that up with the easy layup.
Long two. No, they're going to give him a three. Slaughter. He's hit 2 of 3 from long range for all 6 of his points. Jaden Jackson's cooled off a bit. Hit his first 5 3-pointers and he's missed his last 3. That'll bring us to immediate timeout. I think the Wolverines need to regroup a little bit. 11:16 to play here. Wolverines are ahead, but it doesn't feel like a lot. 63-49, back in a minute on UVU.
I don't think of myself as just an undergrad. Okay, so I'm a sophomore, but I'm at UVU where it's all about engaged learning. Leading a project on DNA research, I don't have to wait for grad school to get this kind of experience. As a UVU student, I guess you could say engaged learning is in my DNA.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
You're watching UVU TV.
Mark Pope imploring his Wolverines to turn it up the way they turned it up in the first half when they went on a 21-0 run. Just dominated the first half. Second half, I feel like they're struggling.
They are. It's not as easy as it was in the first half. They're laboring a little bit on offense because their shots aren't falling. They have turned the ball over. I think, what did they have at the end of the first half? I think they had 6 turnovers. They had 6 turnovers at halftime, so they've had 3 since then. But, you know, it's hard when your shots don't fall. You know, it puts a lot of stress on the Wolverines, and they haven't got a lot of easy baskets. And I think that Rio Grande Valley thinks and sees that this is their time to make their run. When the Wolverines are struggling, they've kind of caught a little bit more of their stride off on offense. But, you know, Jim, the Wolverines are fine. They've just got to take care of the ball, don't force anything, and keep working the ball. You're going to get good shots.
Well, Ivory Young, not sure he was listening to your advice on that one. There's a long 3-pointer. That won't go. Wolverines running the show. Again, Connor Fry goes up with a slam, has it blocked, got it back, and put it up on the weak side. Connor Fry has walked onto this team and now leads them in scoring and rebounding. What a season he's having.
Yeah, he's a great story and very indicative of how he plays right there. Gets the shot blocked, doesn't bother him, right back up and at him.
UVU comes up with another turnover. 3-on-2. Goodman can't get the acrobatic reverse to go. Slaughter with the 3. It pulled down by the Wolverines. Back and forth they go. Wolverine basketball. 10:02 to play. Wolverines by 16. Joined us late. They led by 19 at half. 50-31 was the score. Been outscored in the second half. 18-15.
And Rio Grande Valley switching defenses a lot. Back to the 2-3 zone here.
Jaden Jackson hammered as he went up. According to everybody wearing green or wearing white jerseys and on the sideline, but no call.
I don't know if I've seen Coach Pope as animated all season as I did just then. I thought there was a foul. I think that evidence was there for one, but no call.
9:20 left.
Has he picked up a tee this year, Jim? You've been on the road. I don't think I've seen it.
He's had one.
One tee. A great move there from Darius going to the left hand.
He had one, and I asked him in the postgame show what he did to get that, and he said, I don't really want to talk about it.
And then you just leave it at that.
Yes, I do. I don't dig any deeper than that. When a coach says, I don't want to talk about it, we'll let that go.
Yeah, we'll see the replay there. What a strong move from Darius, obviously being left-handed.
He's still talking about that to
the he is.
Officials.
Talking about it.
One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet is Mark Pope. I think it's going to take him a few seasons of being tough with officials before they finally give him.
You got to build up that reputation. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
There is a game within the game. A rookie head coach is not going to get a lot of calls inside that secondary game. Senior Darius Hamilton.
Good sign from him, not only with the getting to the free throw line, but knocking down the free throws. We talked about his unusual struggles from the line. Good to see him make both of those attempts.
Yeah, the Wolverines are perfect 9 of 9. They struggled mightily Thursday night, and that cost them the game, quite frankly, against New Mexico State. Ivory Young adds to his career high. He's got 17 points on 6 of 10 shooting.
And that was all Ivory, just extending the defense, denying the ball reversal, denying the pass up top. Great defense from Ivory.
Career high 17, career high 6 rebounds. Coming back the other way is Antonio Green. Long 2. Jaden Jackson. That's a long 2. Doesn't get any longer than that. Jackson with 19. Wolverines by 20 with 8 minutes left here at the UCCU Center. Antonio Green doing a nice job to get himself open that time.
He has really turned up his offense.
He's got 17.
Yeah, he is hurting the Wolverines from the perimeter, and on some of those drives that time he had kind of a post-up.
Bottom from Hayden Skate. His first tray tonight. Wolverines have hit 11 of them. It'll belong to UTRGV when we get back from this media timeout. 7.5 minutes left here at the UCCU Center. Utah Valley up right now over the Vaqueros by 21 points right here on UVU TV.
You're watching UVU TV.
UVU, Matt Peterson, has out-rebounded UTRGV by a big whopping 34-23, and 7 of those 34 have been offensive rebounds. UVU doing a good job. That was one of your keys of the game, rebound, rebound, rebound.
Yeah, absolutely, and perhaps the most important thing is, you know, they've dominated on the defensive boards, but UVU's only given up 4 offensive rebounds. You know, I think in the game against New Mexico State on Thursday, if my memory is correct, I think they gave up 17 offensive rebounds. We'll check that here, but I believe New Mexico State had 17 offensive rebounds. So a really nice job of not giving the Vaqueros second chance opportunities.
It will be UVU basketball. Connor Fry was pleading his case.
Yeah, they gave that as Connor denied. The past couple possessions have been really fun to see for me, for the Wolverines defenders on the perimeter, because, you know, they had the previous couple possessions ago, Ivory was pressuring well beyond the three-point line, stopped the ball reversal, got the steal that time. Connor with ball pressure, denying the inbounds pass, gets it knocked off of Rio Grande Valley, and a turnover.
Skank for 3. Here come the Vaqueros on the run.
Yeah, Jim, and I'll say too, coming out of the timeout, we talked about full 40 minutes, right? Playing a full 40 minutes. That run that Rio Grande Valley just put on the Wolverines to cut it to 14 or 15 points in the last couple games, as we see a shot on the baseline there. The previous couple games, those runs would continue, but the Wolverines, a great sign for me is that they stopped the run. They got the game as another great cut here from Marcel and pass off from Darius, but the Wolverines stopped the run that Rio Grande Valley was putting on, and they themselves scored. You know, that was something I was looking for, and the Wolverines answered the call in my mind tonight with that.
Marcel Davis, the 4th Wolverine player into double figures in this game. Darius Hamilton just pulled down his 6th rebound of the evening. .620 left.
Yeah, and I think the Wolverines will kind of work the ball a little bit here.
Jay Jackson is just having a career from that left corner. He's hit 6 out of 9 from long range. 22 points overall for Jaden. 1 shy of tying a career high. In and out the other way for Green, and UVU will actually slow this one down.
You know, I don't know if we keep track of the stats, but I think that all of his threes have come from that corner, or at least maybe one on the wing. Maybe he had one a little bit higher up top, but it is amazing to me that he's been so wide open inside and in the corner.
Hayden Skank.
Nice drive there. Part of it is because the defense that Rio Grande Valley is playing does not suit what, you know, is not good for stopping three-point shooters in the corner, which Jaden has done tonight.
Hayden Skank at the free throw line. He's 2 of 2 now from the stripe. Got 7 points tonight. Five and a half left to play here at the UCCU Center. UVU out in front. Not ready to call this thing yet, but we're closing in on it.
I think that's important too, you know, closing out that game. Wolverines look poised to do so tonight. You're going to get a timeout here.
Well, we've seen the Wolverines go scoreless for long periods of time. 81-55 the score.
You know, I know we have some time left here, 5.5 minutes, and it'd be important for the Wolverines to close it out. But if the Wolverines can keep Rio Grande Valley under their season average, I think that's you know, that's an accomplishment. Talk so much about offense. I love what UVU's done defensively and really limited Rio Grande Valley. I mean, look at the leading scorer. Shaquille Hines averages 15 a game. He's got 7 tonight. 1 of 5 shooting. And 5 of his points have come from the free throw line. J.J. Thompson, we haven't seen him tonight. Maybe that's who had the boot. Antonio Green, he averages 11 and a half a game. He's been the player tonight for the Vaqueros. He's got 17 points. And then you got Dakota Slaughter, who averages 11 and a half a game. He's got 8. And the two key players, who did we have? Shaquille Hines, Dakota Slaughter, combined for
15
points.
Wow.
You know, if you can do that, if you can shut down the key players, and you see the result from that, terrific job from UVU.
And your key players, I don't even remember who it was. Connor Fry for UVU.
Marcel and Connor. It was Marcel and Connor. Marcel not having the scoring night, but 11 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. You know, you can get that from your point guard every night. You're going to be in terrific shape. You know, Connor with 13 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. Those are fantastic numbers. And then you've got Jaden taking the lead, scoring the basketball. He's been fantastic. And then career night for Ivory Young, 17 points. So a lot of really good things that I'm seeing tonight that the Wolverines can build on. If they can get this type of defense, taking out key players, if they can score 4 guys in double figures, love what I'm seeing.
Just what the Wolverines needed. Game like this with a week off.
Absolutely, and a tough turnaround, right? I mean, Thursday night, that was a tough loss. The Wolverines
led by 12 at one point in the second half. Couldn't hold it. Had
to recover from that, and short turnaround, but really nice job.
Marcel Davis, he's so good at those little floaters.
And what's so impressive is how he can just read the defense. You know, the Wolverines are going to try and use some clock here and be patient. And against the zone, there's space. There's wide open gaps, and Marcel is closed and driven those gaps tonight.
Jumper at the top from Kamasa. He's got 16 points, trailing only Green's 17. For team high honors, but it goes down real quick after those two. Only 8 points for Slaughter. UVU missing grand opportunity for a highlight on that one. Oh, he's from the right corner this time.
I think that's the first one from the right.
Jaden Jackson, a new career high with 25 points tonight. 9 of 14 shooting. 7 of those 9 have been three-pointers. He's 7 of 10 beyond the arc. And Hayden Skink picks up the foul, his second, team's 7th. That'll bring us to a media timeout with UVU out in front, 86-59. We'll take a break with them. Back in 60 here on UVU.
You're watching UVU TV. .54% shooting for UVU tonight. For a team that came in here on the season shooting just 42%. They've really lit it up. Meanwhile, UTRGV being held a little bit below their average. They were 43% shooting team coming in here. They're shooting just 41% right now.
What's the season high, Jim? You probably have this stat for assists. You know what that is?
for the team? No.
Yeah, we got Wolverines sitting on 24 assists right now. Terrific ratio, 24 assists to 9 turnovers. You know, and 31 made shots, 24 assists on 31 made shots. That's fantastic. And perhaps of equal weight as those turnovers. You know, anytime you can play through a game with, at least to this point, less than double-digit turnovers, you're setting yourself up for success.
.349 left here at the UCCU Center.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot there for that statistic, Jim.
I'll dig that up sometime. I'll have that for you next Saturday night.
Thank you.
From Grand Canyon. Team assist for an entire game. Nope, sorry, don't have that. Usually provided by all the paperwork that they hand us.
Yeah, I looked through it. I couldn't find it.
Oh,
so
now you tell me.
I'm equally at fault for not knowing that. See if I can find it, but it's been a wonderful night of sharing the basketball.
Darius Hamilton. 6 points. 7 rebounds.
Don't you think, Jim, it'd be a terrific thing if the Wolverines can get production from him like that? Well, obviously, you take that, but giving them an inside presence. We've seen Andrew came out, I think, a little bit earlier with the foul trouble. Darius has come in here and played really well.
6'9" is what they list Darius Hamilton at. Jaden Jackson is unconscious. 28 points, 8 3-pointers tonight.
He's getting close, I think, to a school record. He may have tied it right there.
Yep, he's tied the school record with 8 3-pointers.
Tied it with Toulson, right?
Toulson and Hunsaker. Ryan Toulson had 8 at Lamar back in 2008. Holton Hunsaker had 8 of them at Chattanooga in a tournament during Christmas break in 2012. And there it is.
School record.
Jaden Jackson is all alone in the UVU record books with his 9th 3-pointer. He's got 31 points, a career high. What a game. He will remember this his whole life. For Bigway, slam that one home. One of 3 players from Rwanda on this UTRGV team. And look at the teammates congratulating Jaden Jackson. I think they know exactly what's going on. 9 3-pointers for the senior out of Salt Lake City, Utah. You know, he was the state scoring champ in high school as a junior. And here it is. The new UVU record on that 3-pointer. Wow, what a game for 6'2" Jaden Jackson. West Jordan High School product. Played his first 2 years at Salt Lake Community College. Transferred here. Didn't get a lot of time last year. But the coach Mark Pope inserted him as his starting shooting guard. Has let him go, and I'm not so sure we're going to see him again tonight. With 1:43 left, Coach Mark Pope has gone deep to his bench. Alex Carr, Tyler Rod into the game for the first time. Wolverine still passing around. Tyler Ott, are you kidding me? Tyler Ott. By the way, 13 straight points for UVU. 31-point lead. This is their biggest, or matches their biggest. Turnover, Rio Grande Valley. Under a minute left. Nine different Wolverines have scored tonight. 31 for Jackson, 17 Ivory Young. Both of those are career highs. 13 Fry, 13 Davis, 8 Skank, 2 each Ott, Goodman, 6 for Hamilton, 4 for Bastion. 8 seconds to shoot. Wolverines will have to put it up. Cardwell working it outside. He'll take the step back long too. Yeah, why not? Wolverines just 2 points away from hitting 100 for the third time this season. I'm sure that's what the fans are wanting, but I doubt Coach Pope's going to let that happen too much. Air ball from UTRGV. Shot clock's off. Wolverines can run this thing out, and I think that's what they're going to do. Fans imploring them to put up another shot to score 100. Coach Pope says nope. Stand at midcourt and dribble out the basket, dribble out the game. 98-65. That's how this one will end, with the Wolverines scoring the final 15 points to win this one. They are now 1-1 in the Western Athletic Conference. Meanwhile, UTRGV falls to 0-2. These two teams will see each other again on February 4th. That game will be in Edinburgh, Texas. And Rio Grande plays a lot tougher at home. What a great ball game.
You know, it came down to just shooting. I mean, honestly, the Wolverines, they built the game out in the first half with with that 21-0 run, and then they just extended it the rest of the game. UTRGV made a nice run to cut it back, but you know, the Wolverines just flat out did it in the second half, and it's great to see that they played I think they played a full 40 minutes in that one.
We're going to step aside. We'll be back to talk about this one as Utah Valley dominates Texas Rio Grande 98-65.
You are watching UVU TV.
UVU 7-10 now at overall, 5-4 at home, and boy, they have really no trouble at all tonight with University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. I keep wanting to say Pan American, and I almost made it through the whole game without stumbling on that one. 98-65 final score. Pretty impressive performance tonight.
Yeah, I love what I saw. I mean, to me, it was offensive basketball, but at the same time, you know, the Wolverines played some pretty good defense, holding the Vaqueros under their season scoring average. And, you know, when it came down to it, the Wolverines knocked down shots, made shots when they had to. But, you know, I'll just go back and look at some quick stats. You know, the Wolverines, they only turned the ball over 9 times. And again, 28 assists on 36 made field goals. So that was absolutely the story, because, you know, it's easier to knock down shots when you're wide open, and I thought the team overall did a terrific job of getting their teammates open shots. 57% from the field, and 11 made free throws on 11 attempts as well. It was just a hot shooting night for UVU.
Just about every statistic big time in favor of UVU, especially that score. Individual performance, though, Jaden Jackson, 31 points tonight on 11 of 16 shooting. 9 of his 11 makes were from long range. 9 3-pointers puts him #1 in the UVU record books. I think we've got some highlights queued up ready to show. When that rolls, Matt, we'll let you take us through those highlights. But Wow, what an impressive performance tonight by just about everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see very little one-on-one play. You're going to see a lot of shots going up, a lot of shots going in, a lot of shots that are assisted, and you know, it was a really nice thing to see because, you know, not to beat a dead horse, but I think the Wolverines were concerned with running out of juice and not being able to finish a game, but tonight they did, and it was fun to see, and quite frankly, they were just on fire for the entire game, and should give them a lot of confidence as they have a week until their next game. They go on the road in a tough environment, but they should have built themselves with some confidence tonight.
Yeah, quick check with less than a minute to play. Grand Canyon leading New Mexico State by 2. Grand Canyon's where UVU has to go a week from tonight, so going to be tough, but as you said, good to have a week off. That's going to do it from here. Thanks for being with us, UVU. Heck of a game tonight. They win this one 98-65. This telecast produced by students from the UVU Digital Media Department. It's been a copyrighted production of UVU and the Wolverine Sports Network. For Matt Peterson and our entire Wolverine Sports Network crew, I'm Jim McCullough saying good night from Orem, Utah.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.
Well, originally just to be done faster.
I like it because it's like a faster pace.
I feel like I'm getting ahead of the other students. Everyone's taking the time to kind of chill and relax, and I feel like I'm getting a couple of classes ahead of them and getting out of here faster.